Okay, so yesterday we had a glimpse first part sa Cordillera or not well, first part dun sa Kalinga music. And we ended up dun sa part ng vocal music. So again, we will try to focus dun sa tatlo lang, Kalinga, Ifugao, and then Kankanae. So hopefully matapos natin siya sa lahat. Pero um, I'm afraid baka hindi, pero sana matapos natin. But if not, okay lang kasi we'll still continue until Tuesday for my lecture for the Mangyan. So, yun na yung sa Luzon and then going to Mindoro. Okay, let's start. Sige, ako na lang muna mag-pray. Let's pray. Lord, salamat po for this new day and I pray you bless our class, give us wisdom and understanding and appreciation of the culture, music culture that we will be studying. Help us gamit namin ito in our listenership and even touch our hearts to have the burden dito sa mga regarding to. All the things Lord, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so any questions regarding yesterday's lectures? So if you have questions, let us know para alam namin. And I already uploaded the Kalinga reading. So start reading para magkaroon na kayo ng idea because of the time constraint, hindi na natin sila ma-discuss all the traditions kasi dun pa lang mauubos na. So I want you to read it by yourself and then it will be part of the reflections para magkaroon kayo ng broader idea about Kalinga culture and traditions. So same thing with Ifugao, although Ifugao and Kankanay, I will give the handout that I have when I studied Philippine music dun sa class namin sa UP. So, okay, I'll share ulit yung presentation. So, a short recap again dun sa ating lecture kahapon, di ba? We discussed the Cordillera, ano yung mga characteristics nila. Basically, they all have the same characteristic. Syempre, magkakalapit lang sila as you've seen dun sa map. And then, the overall characteristic of the traditional music in Cordillera, mainly the six characteristics, and then the activities na kung saan in-utilize yung music nila. So, you have to be familiar or these things are not very hard to keep in mind. Kasi, di ba, it's been discussed din sa other cultures. So, usually naman lagi, di ba, events. And if you just think of yung first part, music is a very much part of life and living, dun pa lang mag-gets nyo na siya na, life and living. So, it's really part of all the things that we are doing. So, yan. Musical heritage, already focused on that. And then, we discussed yung bamboo instruments. Yung iba rito will be, may similarity siya dun sa other culture, like the Ifugaos and Kankanay. Pero merong mga different sa Ifugao and different din sa Kankanay. So, be familiar and it's not very hard to remember in a sense or yung sound kasi dun sa pictures and how it's been done. Kasi makita nyo naman yung mga differences and the classification of instruments with idiophones, chordophones, diba, aerophones. So, dun nyo siya i-classify so that it's easier to understand, easier to remember. Yan. So, okay, but before we go straight to Ifugao, I want to kind of focus dun sa isang vocal music ng Kalinga. Not just Kalinga, pero vocal music mostly ng Northern Luzon, dito sa Cordillera, which is the Salidumay. Ito yung nabanggit ko yesterday na Salidumay is one of the parang known music, vocal music, traditional music sa Northern Philippines. So, what is Salidumay? So, this is songs for recreation, entertainment, for any occasion sung by, usually by youth. Dito sa video na to, it's more of like a festival thing. But makita mo dito, youth or women yung kumakanta. And dun sa isang thesis paper na nabasa ko, parang she studied this, the Salidungay of Northern Philippines. And she explained that it's characterized by musical features of Anglo-American folk song. So when we say Anglo-American folk song, so uh, parang American folk song style siya. Kasi it's with meter and pentatonic pitch. Pero yung lyrics is vernacular. When say vernacular, kung ano yung language nila. Okay? And then, sorry for the spelling, pero again, I can edit para right away. So, hybridity, yung title kasi nung parang study is, she explained that the Saliduma is of a hybridity. Hybridity. Yeah, and some kind of congregational singing type. Kasi remember, di ba, communal ang music ng Cordillera. So, marami yung kumakanta. And Salidumay is said to be the symbol of collective identity. Kaya parang when you say Salidumay, this is Northern Philippines music. That's unique to them in a sense. Pero again, meron na siyang characteristics kasi nga ng American folk because of the influence of American invasion. And then also, it's said to be the vision in the narrative projecting ethnicity. So pakinggan natin siya and I will show you a sample of music dun sa paper na sinasabi ko sa inyo. So let's listen. Let me know kung okay naman yung audio. I will forward kasi, ayan. Okay, listen to the sound and yung may certain words sila na laging nababanggit. Which is, of course, Salidumay. Can you hear it? Okay naman? Clear? Hindi? So, I need to share siguro yung computer sound. Meron na.
Layan ni pauli ukod on chenching memi atukalu takakailiot na duwat ken si awi
So, mayroong characteristic of the responsorial, may nag-lead and then may nagsasabayan sila. And you will hear na parang makukuha mo agad yung tone niya, no? Kasi very, lang siya, melodic. I mean, pagka-melodic talaga and pentatonic lang.
Misi umayu kini kini wayu wayu amanta ko ilayang ay ilayang losan on kumayu anak mo'y tamalong
so ano yung instrument na piniplay? So we go back. That's not sure if that's the olibaw. I think that's the olibaw. Yun yung ito, Jaws harp. Okay. So, you'll listen to that sa listening samples and tracks later on. But I want you to be familiar and aware talaga na Saliduma is very unique dito sa northern Philippines. Yung sa, especially sa Cordillera. And then there's another part kasi ng vocal music na is the wiyawi, which is yung lullaby. Ito yung isa sa sample na yun. Forward ka na.
Adikad pa'y manlibig. Ebanan tamapudo.
Okay, so does it sound like a lullaby? Okay, it sounds like a lullaby talaga. Very calming. Of course, usually, di ba, solo voice lang siya. Pero this one, I think it's kind of more of arranged kasi may flute siya and then the way it's sung. Pero basically, syempre, ano lang to. By the way, ito kasi ay kaskulinate namin. Si Miss Sarah at kaklase niya ito si Kuya Jason. Mag-asawa tong dalawang to and they both came from UP. And the one playing the flute is an Asian music major. Si Kuya Jason is music ed, pero before he's a voice major. That's why maganda rin yung boses niya. So yeah, very pure tone. But basically, it really sounds like a lullaby. So we found siya. Okay, so I will not really focus on explaining this kasi nandito na siya sa handout. But these are the terms I already explained, yung mga terms nila for certain songs. Okay? So let's go to Ifugao. So again, they are also part of the Cordillera. And they're called as people of the cosmic earth. So Ifugao, the E or I means people of, and then the Pugao means cosmic earth. Or also from the word ipogo, which is from the hill. Kasi taas sila, di ba? And again, they're in the central northern Luzon, central part of Cordillera. And the two language, especially syempre, yung main nila is Ifugao and then yung other is Ilocano. Some short history. So, as explained sa Kalinga or even sa Cordillera, di ba, we said na pre-Spanish siya. Pero the intervention came about 1741. And then there's Aguinaldo's involvement because of the American invasion. Kasi, di ba, sabi natin mga hunters sila. And this is the time na yung headhunting is very parang common because tribe, di ba? Kasi alam natin yun na pag ibang tao or ibang hindi nila ka-tribe talaga, they will really just headhunting yung literal, yung puputulin ng ulo, something like that. So, may mga ano rin, may mga na-convert. So, there's intervention. So, may mga na-convert na mga tribes. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the name, pero yung isa sa mga converts named Juan Lumawig, if you encounter that sa history. And then merong mga nag-try mag-evangelize, syempre yung mga, yun yung Catholics, yung mga friars. But they tried to convince them, itong mga friars na ito, they tried to convince them to pay taxes or be baptized. Or, kung hindi sila papayag, they will be killed. So, yun yung naging pangyari nun. Pero of course, I think nahirapan yung Spanish kasi nga mataas sila and because of the way they can fight, diba? So, then Aguinaldo's involvement came nung American invasion because Americans tried to hoard yung resources nila. Kasi very rich yung resources, especially nung panahon na yun, diba? So, yung Americans were involved directly during 1899, and most of the Ifuga, because of their involvement, parang nagkaroon ng terms, nag-integrate yung term na Apo. So, yung yung time na yon nagkaroon ng intervention ng American, and then yung Apo term, meaning yung God nila, yun yung nag-start doon. And then they start to have intermarriages kasi nga nag-intervene sila doon sa culture. Nagkaroon ng mga intermarriages, and then because of that may nagkaroon ng adaptation from the culture, and then eventually yung headhunting medyo nawala na-eliminate na yung headhunting kasi syempre 'di ba ang isa sa mga main contribution ng American is education system. So because they try to educate them in a sense, so nagkaroon sila ng ganung option. Okay, headhunting is not good, syempre papatay ka ng tao doon. So they were educated with that principle. And then, yeah, so nagkaroon na ng adaptation and some different kinds of system. And then meron pa, syempre, yung Japanese guerrillas, which the Ifugao helped to shelter them. So, because of that, nagkaroon ng opportunity yung mga Japanese to run schools and teach Nihongo. But I'm not sure at the present moment kung meron pang ng Japanese culture doon. But I know American yung sa intermarriages kasi I think I've seen or I heard mabilis lang yung documentary of a pure Ifugao with some of it. Merong mga sinatawag na white Ifugao, parang ganun. But I will confirm that. Parang matagal na kasi yun because marami talaga nagpunta sa Ifugao kasi they try to study the culture, mostly Americans. And economies, we basically agriculture kasi malapit sila doon. I mean, yung Banawe rice terraces, diba? And then they do animal racing, fishing, pottery, wood carving. This is the bulul. Hindi ko nalagay yung term pero please note that. Bulul is yung carving nila, and it's the rice god or god of harvest nila. Also, they do the pinugo or mimuyo, which is the forest management system. This management system is basically yung mga forest or yung mga lupa ina-assign sa family para adult males yung nag-lead, syempre para ma-protect yung certain forest na yon. Kasi dun yung source ng source yun ng mga needs nila. And then this one is yung unique sa kanila, yung hagabi, wooden chair of the Ifugaos made of nara and signifies royalty and power. Only the rich people can have this chair together with rituals celebrated after. So this is unique to Ifugao, hagabi, and then the puloy. So that's the short introduction that we can have. I'll give you some more yung mas detailed din sa handout for you to get. But basically, ito na siya. So we go to the Ifugao solo instruments muna. So the music culture basically is just yung the instruments and the vocal music if they have ensembles. So here I didn't really post the pictures kasi basically may similarity siya with the Kalinga instruments. So nagkaroon lang ng difference sa terms. Like here, meron pa rin silang tungali, which is the bamboo mouth flute. Pero sa Kalinga, di ba, tungali is what? Nose flute siya. So the nose flute they have is called ongyong, and then so meron diyang bamboo whistle flute, yan, and then kupit, we call this the single reed pipe. So this is the aerophones they have. And then we go to idiophones. Yung jaws harp nila is called bikung, and then the metal jaws harp is called buyu. You will notice, di ba, yung spelling nila may mga double letters. Interesting yan eh. Double letters yung bu, yu, pi, kung. And then we have the bamboo whistle flute, which is ongiyong. Sorry for the age, wala yung dapat. And then tap, or tapang, or pitu. So those are almost the same. Okay, and then the chordophones, number one yung pating, and then tadeheng or tedsheng, which is a fourth string, parang zither. And then the ayuding, yun naman yung Diyos harpo nila. Sorry, may repeat siya. It should be. Okay, tama. Okay, and then the idiophones, pakgong yung tawag sa bamboo buzzers, and then may bamboo clappers sila, which is called kalikal. Here, yung gangsa nila, yung gong sila, it's called sometimes, when I was looking for the listening sa YouTube, mostly they call it gangsa, pero with yung sa professor ko before, she gave us this, ang tawag is gangha. So, gangha and gangsa is the same, basically. But it's different from the gong style ng kalinga. But because, mas marami yun eh. So, let's just go back konti para ma-review natin. So, gangsa sa kalinga, pero yung talaga dun sa Ifugao, ang pinaka root term is gangha. But it can be the same. But I want you to remember that difference lang. So, this is also a flat gong, pero 3 to 4 flat gongs yung ginagamit nila. And then, what is unique with this is, merong silang style of playing na clenched fist. Yung ginagawa. So, pag nakita niyo yung style of playing na yun, it's only for sa Ifugao na culture. So, let's see. Ito yun sa listening. Let's look. Okay, nakita niyo to? Do you see this part? Yan, naka-clench yung fist niya and then bare hands. But yung iba naman, meron siyang stick yata. Pero yun nga, si Ifugao, dun sa other Kalinga gongs, I didn't see this talaga sa Kalinga. So, it's really unique sa Ifugao. So, effort niya. And also, what do you hear? It gives you different, what? Different texture kasi clench fist siya, di ba? Hindi siya yung parang yung tunog lang nung with the stick. Foam, parang mas may malaki siyang sound. Okay, so I think that's enough for that. So you get the idea of how they're playing it. Let's go to vocal music. So vocal music is often performed without musical accompaniment. And then this is kind of categorized into 3 different characters. First is songs are known according to the historical period, and also they represent colonial influence. That's why yung Saridumay sort of may parang feel ng American folk song. And then may mga adapted tunes sila. Content is mostly sa automobile and themes and characters. Of course, hindi mawawala yung love song because of the influence of American occupation. Adapted tunes like the Leron Leron Sinta. So, yan yung first category. And then the second, there's two ways of singing, which is group singing and solo singing, which is also present sa Kalinga music. Responsorial, usually group singing and responsorial are almost the same idea na tinatawag nila. And then solo singing is more of for non-traditional songs and the songs that came about during the World War II. Yan. So, next is yung classification ng Ifugao song. So, there's ritual and non-ritual. So, I have to differentiate that. I think you get, ang ritual, syempre yung mga passive rites nila, yung ginagawa na talaga nila with, in terms of their belief. So, yung una is the alin, which is chanted by the witch during prestige rituals. It's sung during funerals, and then it's chanted by two groups of male singers, leader and singer chorus. Again, responsorial type of singing siya. Pero what's interesting about this alin is, nakita nyo to? How many hours naglalast? Anyone? Pakisabi po to, word na to. You can unmute, anyone.
12.
12 hours ang tagal. Oo. That's why meron akong video na yung sa sample natin. Mahaba talaga siya, mga 9 minutes. Pero hindi natin papakinggan. So, remember sa Indian raga, di ba? Mas mahaba yun, Indian raga. Pero baka parehas lang sa oras. Kasi ito 12 hours halos din talaga nila pina-perform. So, imagine gaano katagal. Kasi funeral naman siya eh. So basically, wala namang puntahan yung ibang mga tao. Like, they really are there. Then there's kepema, which is sung by women to ascertain if a person's sickness is caused by spirits. Again, for healing siya sa ritual of healing. And then the non-ritual, we have the liw-liw-a, which is extemporaneous song of Tapi. And then there's also Salidumay. Na-discuss na natin siya kanina. And then the Baltong is the narrative part of Alin. Pero meron siyang different theme. And then Daniw is a song of lament sung by two men after the Alin. So let's listen to the Alin. Which is, ito rin siya, yun nga, 12 hours. Nasa bahay sila kasi nga, I think, baka may funeral sa part nito. Okay, so it's kind of like similar to the what we call yung meron tayong pabasa, di ba? Sa Catholic, pabasa or passion. But ang interesting is that they know it in their memory. 12 hours ka magpa-perform ng ganito. So it's really amazing how they were able to orally transfer this. I'm not sure though kung, hopefully meron pa rin ganito, pero I think napapass down pa rin. So very lang siya. Hindi siya masyadong complex in a sense of melody kasi parang magkakatabi lang yung pitches. Pero of course, mahaba and yung language. Of course, they know what they're singing pero talaga siya. Mahaba and it's really different from what we know. Chanted, may kasi siya, mix of chant and parang narrative. Okay, and then also ito pa. Let's listen.
Silent mist covers the Cordilleras, the mystic mountain ranges of the Philippines' middle north. In this stillness, indigenous communities thrive in relative seclusion, separated by mountain walls from the rest of the populace. Successfully preserving their culture for more than a couple of millennia, they remain steadfast to their ancestors' ways.
So I forward it kasi we will go to another unique unique culture and music nitong Ifugao.
Hudhud is an episodic telling. It has captured the ears of the international community. The UNESCO has declared it a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity, one of the very few in the world. Harvest, planting, love, friendship. The Hudhud is an episodic telling, recounting the best traits of the Ifugao, the most documented indigenous group of the Philippines.
Casey, you heard that the Ifugao is the most documented indigenous people, and the name of this chant or this music is the Hudhud. So na-explain niya, this is the, sabi sa UNESCO, said that it was a masterpiece. It is, kasi meron pa rin, masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage. Kasi it dates back talaga from the Spanish colonization and to this point na na-preserve pa rin nila to. So it's a non-ritual oral narrative chanted under three circumstances. So, pakinggan pa rin, let's hear more para mas na-idea.
The Hudhud is sung to break the monotony during funeral wakes and during key celebrations in the farming cycle. By tradition, it is sung by women, and they are held in high esteem as historians and preachers. A complete retelling would span 3 to 4 days, especially because there is a constant repetition of lines, names, and places detailing every step of the hero's adventure for the day. The songs have spanned thousands of years, as old as the rows of stone walls that surround these chanters. These walls are fortifications of the diplomatic kind, that which has given life to generations of Highlanders otherwise unable to utilize the unforgiving terrain of the land for the cultivation of their precious staple, rice.
Okay, so basically you only will hear how many harmonies? Can you, dalawa. Okay, dalawa lang siya. Kasi hindi naman, again, we said that the music that we have is not yung complex na talaga ang katulad ng Western music na marami. Two-part lang siya, and again, the themes are like for those na sa rice planting or a celebration, and yung storytelling of heroes. Siyempre, yung heroes sa kanila, yung mga nag-hunt, yung mga elders, mga male, yung mga guys, yung mga adult male nila talaga na nakikipagsabak to hunt or to go for their food, makakuha ng resources nila. So this will be in the listening track. So dun yun na panoorin for you to get more of that. So Hudhud, again, is unique to the Ifugao, and they call it as a masterpiece. So they played this under or in the villages on the house yard. Again, if there's funerals, rice fields, during harvest season. And then, it's sung alternately. So, kanina meron kayong narinig doon na babae na parang nag-lead siya. They called it munhawe. And then the others, yung nakapaligid, di ba, kanina doon sa
High esteem as historians and preachers.
I guess. Itong kanina nag-solo siya. And then the others are called munhudhud or munaboy. So they are called choristers or commentators. So, yan. Okay, so basically, that's it for the Ifugao. I think we'll finish Kankanay because Kankanay is short lang din. And also, I'll post the reading. May reading din dito for this week's reflection. Kankanae, they are the people of Sagada. Sino na dito nakapunta sa Sagada? Anyone? Wow, si Ian. Sino pa? How's your experience doon? Ian. Totoo bang ganito? Nakita mo tong picture? Because I saw this sa internet. Ito yung inaakyat talaga ng mga tao to see the sunset.
Yan, ganyan na ganyan po.
Ganyan na ganyan. As in, umakit ka dun sa, wow. So,
Actually,
go
ay,
ahead.
sorry.
Sige
You're
lang, go
talking
ahead.
ako. Sige.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yang pong ganyan, kasi po nakamotor po kami. So, pumunta po kami doon, medyo maulan. Pero afterwards, nang nag-araw-araw, ganyan na po yung itsura.
Wow. Sea of clouds, no? So, very, ano siya, parang tourist spot talaga siya or bucket list. Parang, I think, naging, ano talaga to, famous kasi of this view, kaya ang dami talaga umaakyat dito sa Sagada. So, Kankanais, they were called as the people of Sagada. So, when I was searching more about Kankanae, I saw this sa Joshua Project. So, if you're interested, actually, we can, uh, Joshua Project, di ba, it's siya yung mission website na nagbibigay ng mga informations about missions to pray for missions around the world sa country. And then, yeah, so, if you want to look at that, pwede naman natin, yeah. So, see how they, meron silang survey dito, the population is around 200,000. Kankanae is also the main language, yung pangalan ng language nila. Ethnic religion, 45 Christian. I'm not sure paano nila, yung Christianity is, I'm not sure, syempre general to, na maybe Catholic or yun, evangelical. And there's this short history here, but because of time, I don't want to parang uh, sabihin na lahat. Basta if I want you to go to this site para mas mabasa niyo siya. And you have the opportunity to be aware and pray for this. Actually, the whole Cordillera, because diba, we know that it's hard to evangelize kapag doon talaga sa taas. And I'm not sure if you know churches. Usually, ang Baguio meron, pero marami pa rin unreached places dito sa lugar ng Cordillera. So let's go back to the presentation. Short history again, Spanish expedition, almost the same. It started noon sa 1665, where doon na nagsa-start yung discovery. Unti-unti no, syempre, we start Cordillera, sa whole Kalinga, and then the other parts. By the way, Kankana is part of Mountain Province. Okay, mahama dito kayo. Agriculture, again, yung kanilang economy, which for this certain culture, they do slash and burn, terracing for wet production, and horticulture. So, yung mga, mayroon silang orchards, vegetable gardens, and they also do fishing, hunting, and then, of course, animal raising. But the unique sa kanila, meron sa kanilang blacksmithing. Yan, may picture ko dyan. And then weaving, basketry, ito. This is the Kankanae weaving style pattern. But yung pattern declined because of, syempre, yung competition sa market dahil marami naman nagagawa ng pots. So, hindi naging ganun yung growth ng pottery sa Kankanae. Ayan. Okay, so we have Kankanae instruments. Again, meron din silang gangsa, but they have a specific name for Kankanae ensemble. For the bigger gangsa, we call it gangsa, and the smaller gangsa, we call it pinsak. And then pair of iron bars, they call it takik. And then for the drum, they call it sulibaw. So the listening tracks for this, doon na lang. But it won't be too many for the Kankanae. So, you will post it dun sa this playlist para hindi kayo sobrang overwhelmed with all this. But again, we still expect you to listen to the playlist that we are giving you. And then the bamboo instruments they have is the diu-diuas, which is the panpipe. And also they have the buntaka, yung bamboo buzzer. And then this different, again, iba yung term nila for Jew's harp. a few. Bamboo to. But not ten. Ten. Bamboo drills is a few. So again, when we ask you something like this, if you have quiz or exam, you have to still kind of differentiate. Okay, a few is kankanae. So different siya. So you should know the unique things about the musical culture. Kasi di ba marami silang may mga similarities sila. But when we talk of the certain culture, you should know that, for example, kanina, Ifugao, Hudhud is unique to Ifugao. Kalinga, what's unique to them. And there's vocal music. It's it's kind of easy to to remember kasi all these and they have the same parang magkakatunog sila. Daeng is about fables and legends of Kankanae. Again, sung anytime and it's kind of a dialogue between men and women. And also a cradle song. So, pwede rin siyang parang lullaby, which is sung by a Kankanae mother. And then Daing, songs performed during solemn sacrifice, and there's two daing, the yakos and the ayuga. The yakos is used for sacrificial rituals performed by headhunter. So note that performed by headhunter. And then the view ayuga, the tempo is much quicker than that of ordinary daing. So I've been trying to look out for some tracks, pero I decided to just collate it na lang para hindi marami kasing terms. So I'm trying uh, to make sure na it's unique or genuine. Kasi when you just search the DAI, hindi siya lalabas. So I'm carefully doing yung listening part or yung mga samples dito na unique or genuine talaga. Kasi hindi pwedeng, baka the same lang siya. So it has to follow the same character. And then there's Daday, song sang at the outskirts of village and also kind of a dialogue between women in the village and a girl, an outsider who was come to marry a boy from the village. So yun yung theme. And then there's also swinging songs. Kasi nga part of their daily life in songs, swinging songs. So the short songs, again, verbal dialogue din siya. Parang may vocal contest between a girl. So imagine ito, a girl who sits upon a swing and a young man who stands nearby. So um, parang parang 'di ba sometimes when we do it on ourselves yung nagsuswing tayo may kanta rin tayo na something, so parang ganun lang siya na they have this certain song for that. Then morning songs, and they have soso and dasay. Soso is used for the occasion of person's death. Again, it's for funeral. And then the dasay is a song, note this, when a person is about to die. So meron, dasay is a song when a person is about to die. Soso is person's death or burial, pagpatay ng tao. And the dasay is for someone who's about to die. And then they have the dance, which is tayaw, performed for the healing of the sick. Uh, again, with when it comes to the dances that they have sa Cordillera, basically, marami talaga siyang significance. So, for this, for the kankanain, tayo is for the sick. And then they offer sacrificial pigs to Kabunian. Kabunian is the name of their god, supreme entity. And what's unique to Kankana is the epic bio. This will be more explained to the reading that I will post sa Google Classroom. This is not really parang vocal kasi parang ano na siya epic siya, so it's a story, it's a narrative story with with a mixture syempre mga chants lang siya. So this is they do public sacrifice and it's a recounting of feast, origins of feastings nila, and then invokes the names of various male and female deities. So, nababanggit dun yung mga gods nung culture nila. And then, so story siya, and then so may chant and then singing part. Singers perform inside the house, and then the presence of elders and important guests while other perform gangsa. So, epic bayog is performed with singers, storytellers din sila, pero may instruments na included dito, which is yung gangsa and meron siyang dance included. I'm not sure if, okay. So, hindi ko include all the, what do you call this, the listening for the kankanae because I'm choosing those that are genuine talaga, but it will be in the listening playlist. So, but this one, kaya meron siyang parang emphasis yung bio is mainly to this culture, kankanae. What's also unique about bio, ano lang siya, it's only sung by men. So, hindi siya kinakanta ng mga babae. During performance, very, strict sila, restricted yung mga tao to leave during the performance or entering. So, when it starts, wala nang pwedeng lumabas. Parang it's kind of a sacred performance sa kanila. Hindi pwedeng lumabas, hindi na pwedeng pumasok. So, and also, a reed branch held by an elder across the doorway seals off the performance. So, merong reed. I will add, once I upload this slide, I will add kung merong picture that will show you the reed na yun. Then after the occasion, the reed is displayed by the main entrance to the house as an emblem of prestige. So, yeah, okay. So that's it for the kankanai. It's very, again, it's not very, what they call this, hindi siya sobrang complex, diba? You only have this few instruments and then also yung main vocal music nila, which is this three, and then swing song and morning song. So, yun yung pinaka-main lang dito. And not very complex when it comes to performances and even the Ifugao. But the unique is the Bayog, Ifugao, Hudhud. How about the Kalinga? Balikan natin. And we're done. Yung Salidumay is for the whole Cordillera. Pero basically, Kalinga and Ifugao is the one na meron talaga na na nagpo-perform ng Salidumay. I think meron din ng ang Kankanae, but it's not something na lagi nilang ginagawa as part. Kasi Salidumay is sung naman to any gathering. So, marami silang piece na yun. So, for short, actually, I want to show you a score nung Salidumay. Ayan. Gusto ko sana i-sight read nyo to eh. Can you sight read on your own? And then someone brave to sight read. You're training. So, you will see the dislocated Salidumay. Diba? Hindi siya pentatonic. Pero there's what? Beeps. Although hindi naman siya ganun ka-complex when it comes to sinong brave?
Ma'am,
So,
we can't see it. It's still your PowerPoint. It's still your PowerPoint.
Your string is, sige, stop share ko yung part. And I'll see kung pwede ko siyang. How about this? Okay na. Okay, so, ayan yon. Sol, do, mi, re, do, sol. Can you try to sing it in your head sa inyo? Hindi, may iba pala dito na first time lang nila. Pero if you can sight read, it's really a nice melody. Let's see, ewan ko kung maririnig nyo siya sa piano. I only have, sol, do, mi, re, do, sol. Exact. So, medyo mababa na siya. So, ano siya, very, kind of melodic kasi hindi naman siya mahirap tandaan. Yan. Okay, so, I'll give you a sample of this, copy of this, and then part na lang siya ng slides and resources na rin. Any questions? Clarifications with Cordillera music? Okay. Interesting siya. So, wait for today's announcement for the reflections. For Karinga, Ifugao, and then Kankanaan. And I guess you've seen yung grades nyo. Again, if you have clarifications, if you know, it was posted by Sarah sa Google Classroom. Ask nyo kami and make sure na kung kaya nyo pang ipasa yung kailangan nyo ipasa, pasa nyo pa rin. Okay? So, thank you and see you next week.
Opo. So, hindi ko pa talaga
Ay,
pass
Sal.
yung overall grade. Yung ano lang,